What's up guys, Mad Fragger back again with another fragrance review video for you. Today I got a couple of Lataffa fragrances that are just pineapple bombs. These been out for a while, it's nothing new, but I just kind of wanted to give you my opinion and my take on them. Now we know that SpongeBob lives in a pineapple under the sea, but if you want to smell like a pineapple, these two fragrances are going to be for you. Okay, that wasn't funny. All right, moving on. So the first one we have here is Fursan. And again, I said this is by Lataffa, and nice black and gold presentation. Magnetic cap, always a nice bonus. This one is 100, or no, this actually is a 90 mil bottle. I freaking hate it when they do that. Like, just make it 50 or 100. I mean, come on. So this is a 90 mil bottle. EDP concentration. And then the second one we have here is Rave Now, also by Lataffa. This is a 100 ml bottle, and it's an EDP concentration as well. Now the presentation on this one, no magnetic cap, but you do have this really cool like lattice on both sides so that you can see through the fragrance, and it says Now on this side and Rave on the other side. Lataffa Rave Now. I guess for Lataffa, raving later is out of the question. It's got to be now. So, well, that wasn't funny. So, what we got here again is two pineapple bombs, but they're both very, very similar. These two fragrances. I had got this one first, and I got this one after. And when I smelled the Rave Now, I immediately said, "Well, that's just Fursan." Like basically these are almost the same fragrance. I would say that if you have one of these, getting the other one is kind of redundant. But both of these serve a really good function in their own right as a fragrance. And so starting off first with Fursan, I got my cheat sheet here and I will tell you the notes for this one. Pineapple, saffron, jasmine, balsam fir, amber, cedar, and oud. Now, I mean, this is a sweet, fruity pineapple, but it's more like a cooked pineapple, like a baked pineapple. Like there's a little bit of gourmand kind of influence here, and it's a little more rich than the Rave Now, but it is very linear. And I would say that this is a great fragrance for layering with other fragrances. I know I've heard a lot of people say that this one, and as well as the Rave Now, that these are great layering fragrances. You want to add a little bit of a pineapple essence to another fragrance profile. These work really good for that. But on their own, standalone, they're both great fragrances. They are a little redundant though, as I mentioned. So now I'll give you an atomizer test for the Fursan. Let you take a look at the atomizer. Short little puffy sprays, nothing special. Gets the job done, but nothing great. Oh, just I don't know. I've heard people actually equate this to Aventus as like some kind of Aventus similar, Aventus clone or similar to Aventus. I don't see that at all. I guess maybe it's in reference to the fact that there is, some notes in here that are similar to Aventus, the pineapple. This actually, moving on to this other one now. I've completely taken myself off of the train of thought there, but moving on to the Rave Now. Now the notes in this one are going to be pineapple, blackcurrant, bergamot, and apple in the top. I skipped. Patchouli, birch, Moroccan jasmine, and rose in the mid, and then musk, vanilla, oak moss, and ambergris in the base. Now, this one I could see the similarities, or the comparison rather, not the similarity, but the comparison to Aventus, because there are definitely some notes in this one that are similar to Aventus. You got black currant in here, you got pineapple, you got bergamot, you got the birch. A lot of notes in here that if you look at the note breakdown, you could say like, hey, that's probably a Ventus, adjacent. But in my opinion, no, neither of these are that similar to a Ventus at all. Yes, there's a couple notes and a couple nuances in them that you could loosely compare to a Ventus, but no, these aren't Ventus clones. Get that out of your head. They're not. What they are is, as I said, pineapple bombs. Both of these are just an extreme amount of pineapple. They're both very linear. They both kind of carry that the opening carries clear through to the end. I do get great performance on both of these, 8+ hours on them. Great projection on them as well. The performance is not lacking at all on these two fragrances. Now, the real difference that I see, in my opinion, between these two is the Rave now is a little bit brighter, a little bit more of a kind of juicy, fruity pineapple. It's definitely one that is going to be a little bit better I like to wear this one in a little bit warmer weather. I'm not saying go out there when it's like 95 degrees and humid. And I don't know. I haven't actually. The truth is, I haven't worn this on a really, really hot and humid day. But when the weather is warm out, this does make a pretty good spring and summer fragrance. It does vibe pretty well in the warmer weather. Whereas the Fursan, I feel like this one is more of a cooler weather fragrance. It's got a little bit more richness to it. It's got a little bit more, I guess, a darkness to it. It's not quite as bright, but I feel like this one is definitely, out of the two, going to be a little bit better of a cooler weather fragrance. So I guess if you got both of these fragrances, again, one, in my opinion, one of them is a little better for cooler weather, one of them is a little better for warmer weather. But they are redundant, though, as far as if you smell these two, it's not very far. It's not a very far departure between one and the other at all. So now, if you want my opinion on which is a better fragrance, okay, out of the two, kind of hard to really say that. But if I had to go with just one of them over the other, I'd go with the Fursan. Now they both have great quality. They both smell really, really good. They both are very good fragrances, but I feel like this one is just a little bit more rich, a little bit better blended, just a little bit more quality overall than the Rave. Now, if I had to pick one between the two. But another thing I wanted to mention just before I wrap this video up is when I do fragrance reviews on this channel, I use when I use the test strip, this is just a 3x5 index card, and I use these to put notes. I don't always remember all the notes to the fragrances that I'm reviewing. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I have to have a cheat sheet so that I can remember what the notes are. And these index cards are great if you get just a pack of these and just take a pair of scissors and cut them up. And I cut them 2 lines. They have the lines on them, 2 lines, cut a strip off, and then just keep cutting strips until you get down to the last one. And they make really good test strips for your fragrances. They're nice and stiff. They got a little bit of stiffness to them. They're not real flimsy. They absorb the juice really good. They work really great. So you guys out there that want to do some DIY fragrance strips, test strips, these index cards, just 3x5 standard index cards, they work really great. So with that said, completely off the topic of the review, my opinion on these two right here is, yes, they're redundant. They perform great. They smell great. They're nowhere near, in my opinion, to a Ventus, but this one, a little better for the cooler. This one, a little better for the warmer. But they're both great fragrances, guys. Both of these are going to be a great addition to your collection, whether you're layering them or wearing them by themselves. So that's going to do it for this review today. I'm the Mad Fragger. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.